What if I told you that it's actually pretty easy to get featured in the media as an expert registered dietitian? My name is Sheena, and I am a dietitian that has been in private practice and blogging for the past decade. And today we're really going to dig into how to get featured in the media, what that can do for establishing you as an expert in your field, and how that can help you to grow your client base. So, if you're serious about starting your dietitian private practice, a side hustle, blogging, or getting featured in the media, definitely click that subscribe button below. So, let's dig in. Honestly, guys, getting featured in the media is not that hard. Sometimes I used to get featured in multiple major media outlets multiple times per day, and I would just Google my name and multiple times a day, and I would see new features of me pop up in Google. It's that friggin' easy, guys. The main platform that I use to do this traditionally is called Help a Reporter Out, or HARO. You can just Google this. HARO, Help a Reporter Out. You'll see a place where you can subscribe for free, place where you can pitch yourself as an expert to reporters. It's really freaking cool. This platform has gone through a lot of changes over the past couple of years, where it went from free to paid to lots of changes with AI, but it is still an excellent resource. And what it is it basically is a platform that helps to match experts such as dietitians, doctors, you name it, with reporters that might be doing a story or an exploit on some specific topic. So, registered dietitians are perfectly positioned to serve as an expert in this space, and they are looking for you. So, by signing up for Help a Reporter Out, you are perfectly positioning yourself to pitch to reporters for these major media outlets. Now, when I say major media outlets, I'm literally talking about things like WebMD, Healthline, Forbes, MyFitnessPal.com, Fatherly, Nike, all sorts of these major brands that need experts to weigh in on the position that they're trying to make. And it can be from anything under the sun, you guys. So I've heard things like, what are some easy to prepare lunches with a lot of additional fiber? Or I've even been featured in articles such as how do you prevent a hangover with food and beverages after excessive drinking? I have been featured in articles, honestly, like which foods are best as aphrodisiacs. So lots of fun things. You can choose what you pitch to, but the important thing is it's a really easy way to get yourself positioned as an expert with major media outlets. Now, this can have a plethora of advantages to you as a nutrition expert, and especially as somebody that is running a blog or running your own private practice. So, when you're featured in these major media outlets with huge rankings on Google, you're in the front of probably thousands to millions of potential buyers. And that person may potentially click on the link to your website from somewhere where you're serving as an expert, say, such as MyFitnessPal. If you're a weight loss dietitian, you're in MyFitnessPal telling about healthy lunch ideas. Of course, that person might be very interested in working with that dietitian that is featured in MyFitnessPal. Click on the link to your website, which brings traffic to your website and brings a potential client and establishes you as the expert. So it's always advantageous to market yourself as an expert to these major media outlets. Great way to get more clients. It is also a great way to get more media features. You position yourself on a website like Help a Reporter Out. A few things happen. If you are seen as being a trustworthy source, that person might refer you to other reporters that may also wish to include you in major media publications. It's a cascading effect. In addition, that reporter might reach out to you again. So I've had so many instances where I'm working with a reporter from, say, Livestrong, and that reporter likes the information that I provide for that source, and they continue to reach out to me first before even promoting the pitch on HARO because they know that I serve as a credible expert. They also refer me to their friends, and so I can potentially get 10 to 20 new media features from just a single pitch on HARO. Now, there are some strategies that you're going to want to use if you're pitching yourself as an expert on HARO. So I like to call this just the facts man. So when I pitch myself as a reporter on HARO, honestly, I get featured a lot, you guys. And the reason why is I keep it short, simple, and to the point. So what you're going to want to do when you pitch yourself as an expert on HARO is you're going to want to take the actual subject line that they propose in their request for an expert. So it might say looking for RD that specializes in keto, etc. Just go ahead and copy that and paste that into the subject line that you're responding to that HARO pitch. And then what you want to do is you want to establish your expertise. So I usually say something like, my name is Sheena. I'm a registered dietitian specializing in eating disorders. Here is my answer to your question. So establish yourself as an expert first and foremost, short and simple. Don't give all your education and craziness like that. They don't care. They just want to know how you're perfectly qualified to answer as an expert. Then what you want to do is you want to very specifically answer their question. So if it's just a one question, what are the best proteins to include in lunch, for example? You want to say, here is the answer to my question. The best proteins to include in lunch are turkey, ham, nuts, etc. Blah, blah, blah. And then you want to end with short and sweet. Thank you for your time and consideration. If you consider this for your article, please consider linking back to me at your website. And then your name. Boom, straight, simple, to the point. If there's more than one question, I usually actually just copy and paste all of those questions and answer them single-handedly. So for example, the question might be something like, what are the best proteins to include in lunch? Is there anything that we should consider about fiber? Should we limit the fats in lunch? Their HARO request might have a multitude of questions in that request. So you want to make sure that you answer every single one in the most succinct way humanly possible. You want to keep it short, simple, to the point. Just the facts, ma'am, is what I call it. So that is going to really increase your likelihood of getting featured in those major media outlets. And like I said, I am in thousands of them at this point. And the really cool thing is when you get featured in one, not only might other reporters pick you up, find your name, but other reporters might use that exact same quote in other major media features. So it just keeps cascading on itself. Another really cool thing that you can do is you can link back to all the places that you're featured on your social media handles and your stories on your website. You can list those media featured as seen in Healthline, LA Times, etc. And that establishes you further as an expert in your field when people are considering booking services with you. Really fun thing that I've seen people do is if they're featured in a major media outlet, they might create kind of like a mock cover of that whatever media feature you're in. So say Forbes, they might put themselves, their face on that and put kind of featured expert for, et cetera, whatever you're featured in that. And you can be as creative with that as you want because you are, in fact, actually featured in that article. So it's not something, that we're fabricating or anything along those lines. It's just a way to get creative with showcasing that feature. Another really good way to get featured in major media outlets is to be number one on Google. So the way to do this is through something called search engine optimization, which I'm going to drop a video to that shortly for you guys, how to get started with a little search engine optimization. But some of my biggest features have been through search engine optimization. So for example, I was featured in the LA Times for a quiz that I had created on my website on how to recognize fat phobia. And this actually went really viral, you guys. I was featured all over LA Times, hundreds of thousands of hits to my website. And then a famous YouTuber actually picked up that piece as well and did a further expose on my fat phobia quiz, which was really, really cool. So you can get really famous for this really fast, which is super awesome. And you can really showcase this to your clients. The really cool things is I've even had clients come to me that are already working to me and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I got an email from the Every Girl today and you were in it, my dietitian. So honestly, it's just super fun, you guys. And if you learn to pitch in this short, succinct way, a really high probability that you're going to get featured in a ton of these major media outlets. And you're going to be, kind of a legend. And it's really fun. We can kind of be a little bit famous for a while and it kind of cascades on itself. One thing that I will definitely note is you don't want to spend a ton of time on this. So if you're using a website like Help a Reporter Out, don't pick anything that's going to take you more than 5 minutes to answer. I am of the firm mentality that I like to be as lazy as possible. I don't like to exert any more energy than I'm going to get back in input. So if it's going to take me longer than 5 minutes to answer, I'm honestly probably just not going to do it. But there's enough reporters needing sources as dietitians that if you sign up for this platform, I think it sends out 3 emails a day. And you can easily get featured in this, you guys. If you're just really diligent about checking those emails each time they come in. Another thing to note is you do want to respond to those HARO emails within an hour from the time they show them in your inbox. Otherwise, you're kind of just wasting your time. But this should be pretty easy. You are already an expert. You are perfectly positioned to answer these HARO queries. And a lot of times they're specifically looking for a registered dietitian. So get there within an hour. Keep it short, simple, and to the point. And just honestly, you guys, just watch how many media features you are featured in. So I hope this video was helpful for you. And if so, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing with a friend.